Martin John, social care, social services. I'm going to put this live post up on TikTok regarding what are your views on social services and social care, meaning care companies that look after our elderly. Could be your mum or your dad or a friend. What is your take on the current position with these two matters? Let me tell you where I'm at with this. Please feel free to send your comments over. Keep them clean and tidy, and please feel free to share the post if you think it's content that may help other people that need to hear some true facts and a reality check regarding the current situation with social services and social care packages. If you want to send your comments over to me while I'm doing this post, I'll read a few of them out. Please be warned, it's going to be quite brutal. I've got an image up, as you see, of an elderly gentleman. I think it's a fantastic image. Look at those eyes. I bet they could tell a story or two. So what brought me to this sort of position to put a post up on TikTok Live? I don't post any content on Facebook or TikTok or Instagram on the page. I've stopped doing it. I've suspended it. I think it's a waste of time because there's a lot of fake, rude, violent content, and it ain't for me no more. So I'm just going to do one live once a week. If they go well, we've done one recently about cocaine addiction, and I was quite surprised that I had around about 8,000 likes, 3,000 views, and a couple of hundred people watching. Got a great engagement with that. That was great. Thank you again. So we're talking about social care and social services. I can't invite anyone on because I'm new to these live videos. I'm not great at social media, full stop. If you want to check me out and see what I'm all about, please feel free. Martin John. Put my name into Google search. It sounds a little bit poncy, but that is the reality of the society we live in today. I'm an author of a book called Get Clean. I'm an ex-cocaine and alcoholic for over 35 years, but I'm going to leave that to one side. This post is about social services and social care companies. What do we think of the carers? What do we think of the quality of service that our elderly people get from social care companies? And what do we think of social services in general? Please feel free to send your comments over. If you're a carer, whether you work in that industry, please feel free to comment, keep it clean and tidy. And before anyone else says anything, I'm not going to come on here and I'm going to curse social carers, because some of them carers do a great job. They do long hours, the money's not great, they put up with a lot of difficult positions, I would gather from my knowledge. A lady said to me recently she does social care because she's got a passion to help old people that are lonely and haven't got anyone to talk to, and she enjoys bringing a bit of light and a bit of hope to them individuals. That's a beautiful thing. On the flip side of that, my own experience from social care companies is quite horrendous. Now, I'm not coming on social media to have a moan and a rant, so to speak. I'm just going to say it how it is with some facts. If you disagree, feel free to comment. Can you please also give me the thumbs up and let me know that I'm coming through loud and clear, because I'm wearing a headset, as you'll see now. And I'm not used to these gadgets, so to speak. So can someone let me know you can hear me and it's coming through nice and clear so we can carry on with the debate? Feel free to share the post. Maybe you want to tag your friends in it. Thank you, Kelly. I'm grateful for you giving me the thumbs up. Yeah, feel free to share this post with people that you believe it might help or they might need to hear it. You may have a relative that's being cared for by a care company and the service is disgraceful. You ring up social services and you don't get any help or any positive feedback at all. So let's get on with the post. Okay, please feel free to tap the screen to invite other people to listen to this post. Be warned, my posts are quite blunt and brutal. And again, I'm not aiming this post at anyone in particular, so please don't think this is a hate post towards any social care workers. It's not. I've got a lot of respect for them people. Most of them are brilliant, but I'm going to give you my scenario and my take on recent experience with social services and social care. I've got quite a good input into it. I've been involved with the probation, the prison service, the police service, the Ministry of Justice, all different kinds of things through my own journey, which was about addiction and my journey. So I've got a rough idea how these sort of things run. Now, my father's 94. Now, before anyone says, why don't you pay for him to go in a home? You know, if you're a wealthy man or a wealthy woman, you can get your dad looked after or your mum looked after by certain care residential homes. No, not everyone wants to put their mother or their father into a home because they think and they feel it's the wrong thing to do. Why would you put your dad or your mum in a home where they probably sit in a corner and don't talk to anyone for 8 to 10 hours a day? They get their cup of tea and their dinner, get put to bed, and that's the end of it. Remember, you wouldn't be on the planet, you wouldn't be on the planet if it wasn't for your mother and father. So try and put all that to one side and look at it from a different perspective. If you've got a mum or a dad, what I gather from my knowledge from social services, which is very, very slim, they don't tell you a lot, they just tell you things they want you to hear. It took me 12 months to get my dad any care. He's 94 and he's classed as disabled. Yeah? 12 months before anyone got back to me. I got a doctor involved and eventually they got back to me. I spoke to maybe 6 or 7 different people. Most of them didn't know their arse from their elbow. I haven't got a great deal of time and respect for social services, full stop. They talk to you like a doormat, don't give you no answers to no questions. They just swerve all that and fill you full of shit, like most people do these days in the society we live in. So I waited 12 months. Eventually, we got a social worker to come round to do an assessment on my father. That was difficult because we had a bit of a language barrier. And before you start, I'm not being racist, I'm just being honest. I haven't called no one no names by the colour of their skin or their ethnic background. But we had a language barrier. So number one, that got off to a bad start. How can you sit with a man or a woman that's of an elderly age and you don't fluently speak the English language? No disrespect to any foreign workers or anyone else at all. I'm just telling you how it is, what I saw and what I experienced. So that is the beginning of the journey for me on my experience with social services and social care. That they sent a lady round to do an assessment of my father, and there was a language problem from the start. So it was a good start. We got through the assessment and we filled it out, as appropriate as we can, and we done what we could. Yeah. She said it will take a few weeks to process, and they'll come back to me with some answers and some propositions regarding providing some social care for my father. 6 weeks went by, no phone call, no emails, no messages, as I expected. I personally put a phone call into the social services, put a complaint in, spoke to the individual, who I won't name, I don't need to. And the answer to my question, which was, how long would it take to get my dad a social care package? Have you processed the assessment and what is going on? My reply was, no, I haven't done that yet. I've still got other things to do. Now, what sort of service is that? If it's your poor mother or your father who's sitting in an house by themselves, They're struggling to get through the day because they need help. They're not in a position where they are wealthy enough to get private care. So that was the scenario I had to start with regarding my dad's social care and the social services. So social services eventually got back to us with an offer to put a social care package together. Now, let me explain and let me be very brutal about this. Yeah. The social care company that was put forward to help my father was a disgrace from day one. And I would expose them, yeah. At a later date, I'll do it myself. I'm not going to name and shame them because that ain't a bit of me. But it was a disgrace, absolutely disgraceful, yeah. From the minute they came round with no uniforms, no ID, all the times that they told you they're going to get here, they didn't get here. And it was a disgrace from the word go. Let me just quickly read out this comment. Someone. That says it all. Social services are all corrupt, all about funding and statistics. I'm a carer for 25 years plus. Well, there you go. That is proof in the pudding. What a comment. What a comment. Thank you for being honest and upfront. Makes things a bit easier to understand now, and people that are listening. Amazing. So that's the position that we had. The care package that we got was disgraceful, absolutely disgraceful. There was 80% of the girls that come round were 18, 19 years of age. No disrespect to them. They've got to get a living. They've got to feel their way through life and make ends meet. I understand that, but I don't know what sort of training they had because they didn't know what day it was, half of them, to be fair. Can't blame them, I suppose. The training was probably 3 months online training, and all of a sudden they're a social carer, which I think is a disgrace. Like the comments just been put up, the companies are just looking for the money to employ cheap labour. They haven't got no passion and drive and vision for the sort of, if you want to call them clients, the elderly people that need help. They just want to bring the money in. They want to pay low wages. They want to employ people as quick as possible and throw them on board. So, you know, the situation is that social services, you have got no chance in hell of getting any sense out of them whatsoever. That is number one. Number two, the social care sector is a disgrace. It is a disgrace. The trouble that I had with the company and the problems I had, I'm not going to go into full detail. I don't need to. But it is disgraceful. You know, they come in, put a meal in the microwave, they prong it. Before you can say hello, they've got their coat on at the door and they're asking an elderly gentleman or an elderly lady, is there anything else I can do for you? I'm not saying all of them because that would be rude. But most of the ones that came to my father's, the first company, that was the scenario. They came in quick, no uniforms, they've got no professional etiquette whatsoever. 90% of them in that company, there was a couple that was okay. Yeah, came in, pronged the meal, put it in the microwave, threw it on a plate. I even had one particular lady that came around here. She put my dad's roast dinner in a cereal bowl, and she wrote down on her notes that he insisted that he asked for his roast dinner to be put in a cereal bowl. What a disgrace! Can you imagine that? Imagine if you've got an old person, a man or a woman, they've got no one to back them up. They've got no one to speak for them. They've just got to take it on the chin. Yeah. Anyway, getting back to the social care package that I got from my father, 90% of the carers from that first company were totally useless, absolutely disgraceful. How they got on there, I just don't know. I don't know what the guidelines are. I've looked into it, done a bit of research. You know, they're sending young girls around and asking, have you got a kettle? How do you make a cup of tea? You know, at the property for 6 or 7 minutes and they're gone. And you're paying for 30 minutes. That's how it works. If you've got any savings in the bank as an elderly person, I believe, I think it's £23,000 upwards, you've got to pay for your social care. So think about this for a minute. You work all your life and you've got to give money back to the government to be looked after. Not alone have they already taxed you all your life and took every penny out of they can corruptly, they give it to you when you get older, which I think is an absolute disgrace. And at the end of the day, you just can't stand back and let that happen. You've got to speak out. And that's what I'm trying to do. I've only got a couple of people watching, but maybe they might share your post, maybe they won't. Let me check the comments, Miss Lady. I work within the private homes and social care homes. I've worked with private homes and social care homes. The things I've seen are scary. There you go. Another comment from a lady that's been working in the industry for a very long time. You don't get no better than that. Please share the post, tap the screens, try and get a bit of engagement. I'm just trying to get a message out there to people that are struggling to get their mum and dad looked after, that these social services and social care companies, you've got to be extremely careful. They're sending people around, they don't know their arse from their elbow. And I think it's such a shame, and I'm feeling very sad and quite bitter that the older people have got no one to speak up for them. Yeah. You speak to anyone at social services, oh, can your dad send me an email? Like, he's 94 years old. Yeah. What are wrong with these people? Yeah. I mean, from what I gather, these social care companies, they give you a morning call, a lunch call, a dinner call, and maybe you have another call pending on your needs to be put to bed, undressed and washed. They don't ever come on time. Never. I know you've got to give and take, and sometimes things don't always run smooth, but from my knowledge, what I've seen in the last year, social care companies and social services in general are disgraceful. The answer to most of that is they can't get the staff. That's what I heard from the first company I ran into. They can't get the staff, maybe because you pay such shit money to carers that do actually know what they're doing. That's why you're going to get the drips and the drabs working for you. They don't know how to put a kettle on, don't know how to put a meal in a microwave and turn that on. And again, I'm not aiming this at anyone in particular. It's not a hate post. I'm not being rude to women or men, because there are men carers, very few. I'm not being rude. I'm just telling you what I've seen and what I've experienced in the last year regarding care and social services. It is a total disgrace. Yeah. Someone once said to me, oh, carers should be more higher up. They should be sort of classed as nurses. Well, I wouldn't agree with that. I really wouldn't agree with that. I mean, some of the social carers that I've had have been very good at their job, but they're not qualified as nurses. They haven't gone through the training that a nurse goes through. I'm not going to get into that because that could be another subject, another topic for a different time. What I'm trying to put across here is that if you are a son or a daughter and your mum and dad's in hands of the social services and you've got a social care package on board, send me an email. Have you had any experiences? Have you come across problems and you've spoke up and nothing's come of it? Please send me an email. I'll be very interested to hear from other people that have struggled with social care and social services. Email me at martinjohngetclean.com. martinjohngetclean@hotmail.com. Once more, martinjohngetclean@hotmail.com. Please send me your views on this matter, this subject. It's not going to be a long post, but I thought I'd throw one up. I wasn't sure what response I was going to get or how many people was going to watch. I suppose it's a bit of a taboo subject, but let me tell you, the social care packages that are out there for the elderly are absolutely disgraceful, and you don't get what they tell you you're going to get. Completely different, yeah. I ain't saying all social care companies are bad, because they're not. But some of the staff that I've experienced, they've got no training, no people skills, no common sense at all. They want to get in to your mum's house or your dad's house. They want to get the meal in the oven. They want to get out as quick as possible. Fuck off. They are not interested. They've got no passion. They've got no care and no love for the elderly. Again, that is not all of them. I'm not that stupid and ignorant to say that. What I've seen and what I've experienced, 90% of the care that we had from the first company was disgraceful. Very rude, arrogant people. They ain't interested in helping your mum or your dad. Yeah, the carers get money. I think it's about between £11 to £12 an hour ish. Some of them are worth triple that. Some of them ain't worth 50p an hour. That's how diverse I find that industry. You've got young girls, again, I'm not aiming at young girls, I'm not just sort of picking on the younger generation because I've had carers that have come to my fathers that have been middle aged. They don't know what day it is. Coming in with muddy shoes, walking right through your house. No identification on them, no tags, don't introduce themselves, yeah, don't clean up properly, don't wash up properly. They want to get in and get out as quick as possible. It's a total disgrace. You don't hear about social care companies, you don't hear about social services, but I'm here to let people know that social services are absolutely disgraceful. They don't know what they're doing, they don't give a toss, and as I had a comment on there from a lady, they probably are corrupt, getting drinks off people for getting contracts with care companies. Disgraceful. That is it in a nutshell. I'm not going to prolong the post. If you've got any comments, please send them over to my email address, martinjohngetflint@hotmail.com. It's a bit of an unusual post. I thought I'd throw it out there. Again, in a nutshell, I'm not aiming this at all the carers out there because there's some really, really good people that have got a lot of passion, a lot of love, and they've got a big vision to help the old people as much as they can. But on the flip side of that, you've also got the other little team that don't give a toss. Don't know what they're doing, don't know what day it is, ain't got a clue, ain't been trained properly. And they're the ones that are looking after your mother and your father. Total disgrace. Just like the rest of the things in the current society we live in. If you want to share the post, please feel free. Come back to me with your comments and your emails, martinjohngetclean@hotmail.com. Let's just read that comment out from someone. Carers should be assessed, checked regularly. Correct, Kelly. I've complained to CQC to report abuse against elderly people. What I witnessed, shocking. You can actually employ your own carer with the money provided from the individual budget. That is correct. You can employ your own carer. Good point. Do you know what though? When I spoke to social services, they never mentioned that. Yeah, I found out myself. I put it on them and they said, oh, we do apologise. We didn't know. You can get a direct payment, and that is correct. You can employ your own carer. You set up a bank account. It's sort of run as a business, and you get funded. You pay them through your bank, through the social services, what you're allowed and what you get by the government funds, etc., etc. But I mean, basically, it is just a disgrace. Total disgrace. I'm feeling so sad for the old people that have been through a lot in their lives. Yeah, they may not have any relatives that care. They're in their house. They just get what they get. They can't speak up for themselves. Can you imagine how many people are like that are lonely and scared and frail and frightened to say anything? They don't want to lose the care they've already got. It's a total disgrace. I just wish this post was a bit more active and had a bit more engagement with a lot more people. Maybe some carers would say their bit, like the lady has already. Maybe there'd be, someone from social services that would come on and speak up and try and challenge what I'm saying. But obviously not. I don't know how you go about getting more people on. I don't know how you go about engaging more with a live stream post. But I've said my bit. I've tried to keep it as minimal as I can. Backtracking, social services from day dot, which I experienced, are disgraceful. Disgraceful. Yeah, they're never in the office. They're always at lunch, always at a meeting, or they're off sick. You send them an email to no avail. You don't get nothing. And every time you ring up and you finally get through, you speak to like 30 different people. You don't know what's going on. They don't know what's going on. And when they finally do send someone around to do an assessment, or your mum or your dad, it's embarrassing. And again, this is not hate, racist. This is real and honest what I experienced. We had a language barrier with a particular individual that came round to my father's. That wasn't a good start. When I mentioned it a little bit later down the line, I was called racist. My answer to that is bollocks. Yeah, you can't play that old trick with me. That ain't going to happen. Never in a million years. Yeah. So At the end of the day, you know, what I've experienced from social services and social care companies, the manager from the social care company was embarrassing. How on earth did she get involved in that industry? How on earth did the company get registered? Sending people round to my father's house, can't even make a cup of tea. Making you feel that you're under pressure, putting their coat on, standing by the door. Do you want anything else we can do for you? Knowing damn well they don't want to stay, you want to be out of there. I understand some people want privacy, old people can be cantankerous, they've got their ways about them, dementia creeps in, all different kinds of aspects. I understand that. And again, some people that work as carers are fantastic, brilliant. I'll be out to you. You should be getting 40 to £50 an hour, just like the nurses. But that ain't going to happen because you've got a corrupt government. They don't give a toss. They won't look at things from the outside looking in. They haven't got no knowledge about the street and no lived experience. You're dealing with pen pushers, mate. We don't know what it's all about. I'm hoping that people can share this post. I didn't let no one come on with me on the live because I'm not very good technically, although I've had a few invites, and thank you very much. If you like what you hear, you like what you see, or that's the image there I thought of a man that says a million things just by looking in the eyes, and you can see me. I'll show you me now, seeing I'm genuine. Thanks very much. I hope you share the post with people that may gain something from it. Come back to me with your comments. Again, email me please, martinjohn@getclean@hotmail.com, and let's see if we can get something going. Wouldn't it be great to get something together to take it to the government to change all these guidelines and regulations and all the old tosh that's going on, to know that if you have got a mum or dad that need help, you're going to get professional help. Yeah, you're going to feel okay. You're going to get some sleep. They're going to get their last days on the planet with a bit of care and a bit of love. Wouldn't that be a beautiful thing? Thank you very much for watching and your comments. I'm extremely grateful. God bless.